Good afternoon. Welcome to this webinar on UU postgraduate opportunities. As you can see in this slide, if you'd like to join any of our webinars, please sign up for them at the link that's shown there, and hopefully you'll get the information you need on all our courses. So today I'm going to be talking about our MSc Strategic Accounting. Before I get into the course itself, it might be useful to give you some background on the benefits of studying at UU and what UU is like. So you can see there that we've got a good critical mass. We've over 200,000 alumni worldwide, and we're very focused on employment opportunities. So if you're looking for a change of career, we have a range of courses that will help you get the qualifications you need to do that. We're very focused on employment and practical applications, so our courses give a competitive edge in employment. And of course, there's the personal challenge and the personal fulfillment when you complete a course. I'm always slightly nonplussed at the next bullet point to talk about experts. There are many experts in the university. Personally, I don't like to apply that epithet to myself, but generally speaking, you will be taught by experts. And we're very focused on supporting students. So you've got a supported study environment. And our qualifications are very much looking at both academic and professional qualifications. And indeed, that's a key feature of the Strategic Accounting MSc. And you'll pick that up as we go along, as are the issues around links within industry bodies and employers. This course has very strong links. And in fact, those links are almost the raison d'etre for the course. So those are good reasons for studying at UU, but this slide gives you some statistics and quantifiable benefits where you can see how you can benefit. And you can see that if we take the first two columns, you're quite capable of reading those and picking them all up. But I suppose at the end of the day, if people are looking for a change in career fulfillment, I would always say is the number one aspect for any career choice. But obviously remuneration is important, and getting a master's qualification is generally going to help you get better remuneration from your career. And if you can combine that with fulfillment, well, then that's a definite benefit. So what about our offer? What is it we offer for our postgraduate study? Well, across the piece, we offer flexible modes of study. So we've got some courses full-time, part-time, and distance learning. The course that I'm going to speak about is a full-time course. At present, it may well evolve in the future into a distance learning course, but that's not really on the immediate horizon. And there are a range of different types of courses where you've got flexibility about the study level, so you can have short courses, and some of those will build up into certificates, diplomas. We've got postgraduate certificates, postgraduate diplomas, and we've got MAs and MScs. So there are a range of courses available in Ulster, and if this course isn't the one you're looking for, then do search the prospectus and see what else might be of benefit for you. In terms of professional recognition, the university works across a broad range, I've just created a new word there, a broad range of industry networks, and where it's possible, we include professional accreditation. The link between the MSc Strategic Accounting and that recognition accreditation is a key feature of the course, and I hope that as I go through the slides specifically on the course, you will get a feel for that connection and that feature. If you wish to apply, then apply at ulster.ac.uk. Most courses have no official closing date, and our applications roll. However, I do need to make a point here to do with the course that I'm specifically looking at. When I go through the particular slides, you'll see that we are working very closely with the ACCA syllabus, and so the qualification aligns with ACCA, and ACCA exams take place on specific dates in the year. So to align with that timetable, we need to start the course a little bit earlier than most of the other courses in the university. So the course will begin in early September. And so you need to roll that back and think about a deadline for application. You need to apply in time to get an offer, and for you to deal with all the issues that need to be considered before you would actually come to the course. So if you're coming from overseas in particular, you need to think about applying for your visa, arranging travel arrangements, and giving yourself time to settle in in the new country. So something to think about there. I don't put a specific timing on it because it's different for each person, but please do think about it. Although some of our courses will facilitate people joining late, that's not particularly practical with the MSc Strategic Accounting. And again, you should see the reasons for that as we go through the detailed information. You can, of course, apply for multiple courses, although you need a separate application for each one. And make sure you complete that application fully, because if there's an omission or something that's not clear, of course, we'll come back to you, but it's probably easier to do it at the time when you're filling up the form. So if you have any doubt, please contact the university and get the help you need. So, of course, I talked about remuneration, and we can't get away from the fact that we need to think about finance. So there are a range of issues around our financial arrangements. They differ course by course. I'm not going to talk specifically about fees and finance for the MSc Strategic Accounting. That information is in the prospectus, and that would be the case for all of our courses. So you can get a feel there for the flexibility and the range that we offer. So I've said that this course is linked to ACCA. You may know about ACCA, but just in case you don't, here's a little bit of background. The ACCA, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, is a globally recognized professional qualification. ACCA has more than 210,000 members and more than 527,000 students. So we're talking around 750,000 people, and that's spread across 179 countries. In order to become a member of ACCA, there are 3 requirements. To become a member of any professional body, the first 2 of these apply. The third one is quite specific to ACCA. So in the ACCA, you've got to complete the exam structure, and the ACCA exam structure is 14 exams. You also need to obtain 36 months relevant practical experience, and that's recorded through a thing called the Practical Experience Register, which is an online tool. And then the other bit is that you need to complete the Ethics and Professional Skills module. And the title of that module pretty much describes what it does. It's trying to ensure that people who complete the ACCA qualification are not only competent technically, not only competent and proficient academically, but that they have the relevant range of professional skills and that they understand the ethical environment within which accountants work. So if you want to become a professional accountant, there are a number of ways you can do it. This is a fairly simple guide, but it's a good guide. There are other ways into the accounting profession. And if anyone listening to this presentation doesn't think that these steps fit them, then please do feel free to contact me. I'm more than happy to give guidance and talk through the options that might be available to you. But in general, the first step is to complete an accounting degree. Most accounting degrees in the UK, provided you take the correct optional modules, will gain 9 ACCA exemptions. The other way you can do it, of course, is to go straight into the ACCA exams and complete those exams rather than seek exemption. It's important to say that the 9 exemptions are the maximum exemptions that ACCA can award based on the regulation that they are subject to. So in other words, you get 9 exemptions, you can't get any more. I said earlier that ACCA has 14 exams, so that leaves you some exams that you've got to complete. You can complete those either through the ACCA exam system, but more specifically what you can do is complete them through Ulster University's MSc Strategic Accounting. And what we've done with that course is we've included practical experience, and some of that, and to get into the course, you need to be exempted from the applied knowledge and applied skills exams with ACCA. So as you can see in step 1, we've dealt with those. So what we do through the strategic accounting is prepare you to sit the ACCA exams for the remaining exams. And then step 3, you're going to graduate with your master's qualification. You will know everything that you need to know. You'll have been fully prepared for those strategic professional exams, as ACCA have branded them, and you will have some practical professional experience. You won't have completed the 36 months, but you will have completed some, and the combination of the ACCA qualification, a master's degree, and practical experience will mean that you're highly employable. So how does the MSc Strategic Accounting work? It's one of a number of courses that ACCA referred to as embedded masters. At the time when this course was developed, that term wasn't being used. So the course is rather unique, and I would claim groundbreaking, and in a way has coined this term that is now used. So the ACCA strategic professional exams, those final exams from which students cannot be exempted, are embedded into the course. We have additional modules. The additional modules really revolve around an introduction to research, which is a key academic skill that needs to be developed, but more importantly, and often overlooked by people doing professional exams, it's a key professional skill. And the way I would describe it is the way a senior ACCA member put it to me very recently in a conversation. When we were talking about this, we were talking about, should there really be a differentiation between professional and academic education? And we felt there wasn't. And his comment was, well, if I think about what I do day and daily, and this guy's a chief executive officer and chief financial officer for a corporate finance company. And his comment was, what I do every day is I try to solve problems. In order to solve a problem, I've got to analyze the problem. I've got to work out what information I need. I've got to go and get the right information. I've got to verify that it's reliable, and then I act on that information. And that's essentially what research is. We also have modules, an optional module on either cybersecurity or data analytics. And there is no doubt that digital technology is impacting significantly on the role of the accountant. And there are many, many reports, ACCA's Professional Insights reports, which you can pick up on their website, will point you towards this, the importance of digital skills. So we're trying to add those into the course. The other additional module is one which we call the Strategic Business Project. And it's basically what it says. You work with an employer, you'll work on a specific project and prepare a report for that employer. So the research skills are important there. And by doing that, you will be getting some practical experience, which you will justify and record on ACCA's practical experience record. So you get part completion of the PER. And then the teaching that we've done in the class and the work you've done for your assessment to obtain the MSc award will prepare you for the ACCA exams. And so you will sit the ACCA exams and hopefully pass those. And that will mean that you will complete the course with both an MSc and hopefully completing your ACCA exams. And this element of the course is unique to UU. There is no other course in the world that I'm aware of that provides all of the ACCA exams and the opportunity to get practical experience. So I've kind of picked up on that slide. This slide encompasses what I'm saying, why this course is unique for UU. All of the strategic professional papers are included. We've got the Strategic Business Project, which covers off some of the outcomes for the practical experience requirement. And you're completing your MSc assessment, which prepares you to sit ACCA exams. So what are the benefits of doing things this way? Well, the main benefit is, as I've said a couple of times to get to this point, you get both your master's qualification and complete your professional exams. Your strategic business project will give you essentially a 3-month period. It could be more. I'm not going to go into the details of that today just to keep this presentation shorter, but if you do join the course, we can talk about it. And it could be as much as 8 or 9 months, depending on certain factors. But it'll be a paid internship opportunity, and that's with an ACCA employer. Most of the time, we will try and put people with employers who understand the ACCA practical experience requirement. You have the flexibility to take the ACCA exams when you want. You can do them alongside your MSc, but if you decide that you want to complete the MSc and think about the exams at a later date, or complete some of the exams and leave some to a later date, that is entirely up to you. That's perfectly feasible. You'll be taught by qualified ACCA staff. What I mean by that is staff that are qualified to teach professional qualifications and who are acknowledged as such by ACCA. And all of our staff have international industry experience. So while we're here in Northern Ireland, many of our staff have worked outside of Northern Ireland, overseas, and all of our staff who teach on any ACCA related courses bring industry experience. And of course, as a diverse and international student body, you will be able to collaborate and network with your fellow students worldwide. And this course gives you access effectively to two such international networks. You've got the UU network and you've got the ACCA network. So you'll be tapping into a network with over 500,000 people in it. And there's no doubt that people who get involved in that network and build relationships, those relationships stay and they last, and people can benefit from them. And that's kind of the fulfillment that I was talking about earlier. So what will you learn? What will this course teach you? Essentially, it will help you learn the finance, technology, the leadership and advanced accounting skills that employers are looking for. The ACCA qualification is drawn up after consultation with employers worldwide. It's reviewed and refreshed on a regular basis. So you will definitely be getting a chance to develop skills that employers are looking for. And there's a list there of the key subjects that you'll study. Most of those on that list are the ACCA exams. Some of them are options, and then our own options of cybersecurity or data analytics. The way the teaching is structured is we do intakes in September or January. It's a full-time course, and I think it's important to make that point. As I said earlier, for the September intake, we do start a little bit earlier. That's to align with the exams. The logic of it is that the teaching that we do in the first semester and the modules you complete on the MSc in the first semester will prepare you for ACCA exams in December of that year. And so we need to start a little bit earlier to have enough teaching time so that's all done and completed in time for the ACCA exams. You would usually be on campus for 3 sessions, 4 hours per week. That's because you'll generally be studying 3 university modules, some of which align with ACCA papers in each semester. Each module is dedicated with 4 hours of class contact, and we try and timetable it so you have 1 session per day, 1 4-hour session per day. Probably better. Some people might think, oh, it would be nice to get a couple of them out of the way, but believe me, if you were to do 2 4-hour sessions at master's level, focusing on professional exams, I think you'd be, never mind tired at the end of that day, you probably would take a couple of days to recover. So 1 session per day. Something that's really important to point out is that if you want to succeed, then you need to do more work than can be done in those classroom sessions. And so I would suggest that you need to think about the fact that you need approximately 2 hours of private study for each hour of class contact. So if you work that out, you're coming to a total study load of between 35 and 40 hours per week. That's normal for a master's course, it's normal for professional courses, and because we've combined the two, you don't need to double up the time, but it is worth remembering that and budgeting for that when you're planning your time when you come to university. Completing the course in total takes 3 semesters, which are spread over 18 months. It's important just to point that out because if you're familiar with the UK and Ireland university system, you'll know that there are 3 semesters in each 12-month period. We don't use the summer semester because we think people need a bit of a break. And if you're traveling into Northern Ireland from somewhere else, it gives you a chance to travel and see around this wonderful place, especially when the sun is shining. And just in case I haven't made it clear, the MSc assessment is 100% coursework. You will, as part of that, do a mock exam, but actually the mock exam isn't your assessment. Your reflection on your performance in the mock exam is your assessment. And all of that should give you really strong basis and a really good platform to be prepared for and to sit and succeed in the ACCA exams. So going into that a little bit more detail, The lectures will be totally focused, and we deliver those in an online format. We're not doing that at present simply because of COVID. We will continue to do it, and the reason is very simple. Many people have talked about how are we going to adapt our practices, whether it be in education or in business or anything else, when we come out of COVID. And one of the things that COVID has shown us is that most students prefer what we would call a blended model. But pre-recorded lectures are a very good way of getting the technical content across. What it also means, if I go down to the box a little bit below that, the classroom then can be tutor-led reflective discussions. So we're really focusing on what does this mean? Why is it important? How would I apply this in an exam? What kind of questions could come up in the exam? So to support that, if we go back up to the top row here, there'll be a range of multiple choice revision tests. So you'll get multiple choice tests on a regular basis to check your understanding, make sure that you're getting to grips with the basics of the topic. The detailed lectures will develop that, and then you'll apply it in the reflective discussions. There'll be supporting handouts. And of course, in the question practice, we'll be focusing very much on past ACCA papers, looking at those model answers and thinking about why is that the answer? How do you construct an answer in that way? Why does that question require this kind of answer? So to get onto the course, there are a number of criteria, but the key ones are listed here. You must have either passed or been exempted from 9 ACCA papers. That, as I've already said, comprises the applied knowledge and applied skills module within ACCA. You also need to be enrolled as a student with ACCA. That's very simple in terms of why we're asking it to be done. You'll join the course in September. We want you to have an opportunity to sit your first ACCA exams in December. If you join the course in January, we want you to have an opportunity to sit your first ACCA exams in June. The exam entry date closes, the deadline for exam entry comes not long after the course has started. And what I want to avoid is someone coming in the course and having a problem with completing their ACCA student enrollment and then actually not being able to do those exams. And if you're an overseas student, you need an IELTS score of 6 or above. Should also point out that we do have other pathways. As I said earlier on that 3-step diagram, it's a simple and clean picture. There are many other entry points that you can use, and we do have a pathway for applicants who have less than 9 ACCA passes or exemptions. Again, I'm not going to go into it in detail here because it would make this session too long, but I'm very happy to discuss it with anyone who's interested in that pathway. And in terms of our physical locations, if you're familiar at all with what's going on in Belfast, you will have seen that there's been considerable major work being done on our Belfast campus. And our new, enhanced, developed, state-of-the-art campus should be opening its doors from September 21. All of our courses which take place in Jordanstown, as the Strategic Accounting does at present, will transfer, and you'll pick those up on the website. So the Strategic Accounting will transfer to Belfast, and we think that because of keeping it simple from an operational point of view and ensuring that we're complying with COVID regulations, semester 1 of the 21-22 year will continue on campus, the Jordanstown campus. So for those of us who are from Northern Ireland, the Jordanstown campus is somewhat historic, and the number of students that have gone through it over the years is quite significant. We're very excited about the new Belfast campus, so joining the course in September 21 will give you an opportunity to experience both of those campuses. And so we hope to transfer to Belfast from the beginning of semester 2, in other words, January of 22. The detailed timetables will be given to students at the beginning of semester 1. So there'll be more clarity on that for the course, or indeed any other course that you may join at Ulster. COVID-19 can't be avoided, I'm afraid. I was on a call earlier and somebody said they're fed up talking about COVID. I think we all are. We're fed up talking about it. We're fed up experiencing it, but it's here and we have to deal with it. So we're going to welcome our students for the new academic year, but we will do that in a way that's safe. The safety of our students is our prime concern. And of course, we'll comply with government guidance. You can see that our website gives you up-to-date information. So at any point, you can check and see what the university's current position is on COVID-19. I think someone had gone to ask a question there earlier because I neglected to say at the outset, if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat box. So if you do have any questions regarding postgraduate study, don't hesitate to get in touch. I have my email there. I'll handle questions about the strategic accounting and pathways into accounting. If you're looking at other courses, then please check the prospectus, which you can get on our website, and that will direct you towards the relevant course director. So you've got my email address and my contact telephone number there. I'd be very happy to engage with anyone who has any questions. And of course, as we said at the start, if you would like to know about our webinars and keep up to date with what we're doing and our developments on our postgraduate study, there's a URL that you can use. I hope this presentation has been helpful. I hope it's given you an introduction to the course. I don't pretend for a moment it will have given you all the information you need, but I hope it has perhaps piqued your interest and made you think, well, this might be a good way of building a good career and doing that on a good sound basis of academic and professional qualifications. So whether you decide to apply for the MSc Strategic Accounting or whatever course you want to apply for, I wish you well in your studies and in your career. Thanks very much for listening.